The Dow. I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people.
Radical left wing.
I don't know why you're laughing.
This is gonna piss some people off.
The Dow. I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people.
Radical left wing.
I don't know why you're laughing.
This is gonna piss some people off.
The Dow. I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people.
Radical left wing.
I don't know why you're laughing.
This is gonna piss some people off.
Hello. My name is Ashlee, and welcome to my channel. You said we saw you. Hello, I know. I meant to do the studio mode so that way I could switch it over to me, and then I did it wrong. So Thank you for saying my countdown kicks ass. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Hello, how's everyone doing today? It has been a crazy weekend. When I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about today, I had no idea because there's just so much going on. But today we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about Charlie Kirk's mentor. I shouldn't laugh at this, but Charlie Kirk's mentor dying from a pickleball accident. Now, when I heard this on the Majority Report today, I will say that I could not contain my laughter. And the reason it's funny to me is just because it's pickleball. And I'm like, I never thought of pickleball as like a... it's like a sport where you could die. And so anyway, there's tons of stuff going on around conspiracy theories and all sorts of stuff going on with that. And Candace has a bit to do with it, and so does Erica. It's a whole thing. So we're gonna go down that rabbit hole for a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about ICE in airports and some of the videos that are coming out from that. And then we're also gonna talk about, of course, Iran and Trump's insanity, like his insane posting. I don't know what's wrong with him. I mean, so many things are wrong with him. But anyway, that's what's going on today. Hope everyone is having a great Monday. And yeah, let's get into it. Oh, before we get into it, actually, please like and subscribe and all the things. My video last week did really well, and it was so fun. I was like, oh my gosh. It's a little overwhelming though, because I'm not used to that many comments. So I was like, oh my God. But yes. Anyway, thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. And yeah, made me really happy. Okay. Anyway, let's get into it. So first, let's talk about the topic of the day, which, oh my God, I shouldn't be laughing at this. I really shouldn't be laughing at this. But unfortunately, I am. Okay, so it says breaking. Charlie Kirk's mentor and cheer founder of Varsity Spirit, which is kind of wild that his mentor is like a cheer founder. When I read that today, I'm like, wow, this story is just giving me so much. And I had no idea this guy even existed. Okay, so anyway, breaking. Charlie Kirk's mentor and cheer founder of Varsity Spirit, Jeff Webb, dies March 19th after being hospitalized for bizarre head injury fall playing pickleball. No one is making, okay, and see, this is where it goes. Okay, no one is making accusations. He was playing Erica Kirk at the time, so just stop. Now, I think that was supposed to be funny. I don't think it was actually playing Erica Kirk. But the reason that people are saying, oh, is this Erica Kirk? Some people are saying, oh, is this Israel? Is because Charlie Kirk died, and now this guy dies. And it is, I mean, listen, when the headline says that you've died from a freak pickleball accident, I do think that does invite some questions and some just like confusion, because I don't play pickleball, so I don't know. But from what I've heard or what I've seen, I guess, I don't know. But I guess if you fall and hit your head hard enough, yeah, you can, sure, yeah, I'm sure you could get really hurt. Anyway, this is what's happening. But the reason this is so funny to me is because Candace Owens. So there's like so much going on in the Candace Owens universe, and I'm gonna have to do a video about it and like actually go down all these rabbit holes, because there, like I said, there's like a whole other universe. There's like a Candace Owens universe happening on the other side of the internet that I am just not privy to, and it's kind of wild. And so, but there's this whole thing where Joe, I believe his name is Joe Kent. He's the one who just was like a whistleblower. What'd you say? Sorry. Charlie Kirk was not the founder of, Charlie, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. Charlie's mentor was not the other founder of TPUSA. I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know that he's like a cheer founder, which I thought was like really weird. I don't know why I thought that was weird. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. But apparently this guy, his name is Jeff Webb. He was a cheer founder. He founded Cheer and I guess owned this company for cheer. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I didn't do cheer. Anyway, and I don't know what that means. But I watched Bring It On. That was about it. Anyway, so he founded Cheer, I guess. And then he became a conservative commentator, which is a little weird to me that you're like founding Cheer and then you then become a conservative commentator, just saying. A lot of these conservative commentators, a lot of these conservative politicians tend to be in the Epstein files. So to me, it's a little strange that you're over here like, I founded Cheer, and then you become a conservative commentator. Just saying, it's a little weird. IDK, what's Cheer? Cheer, like, like bring it on, like cheer, like cheerleading. I don't know. I don't know what the company was. I don't know if it was like a competition thing where people go to competitions, or if it's like they're selling pom-poms. I don't know. It literally, like, I looked it up a little. I looked into it. It just said he founded a cheer, the cheer company, Spirit Varsity or whatever. Anyway. I think it's weird that he founded a cheer company and then is also a conservative commentator. I find that kind of sketch. Anyway, I do. But anyway, so he died from a pickleball accident, and now everyone's going crazy online, right? And so, but anyway, there was also, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my track. Okay, so anyway, there was, I'm doing horrible today. I can't keep my mind straight. Okay, so much is going on. Anyway, so Candace Owens, there was already like drama going on in the Candace Owens universe, because Joe Kent, the guy that was the whistleblower for the Iran war, who came out and just resigned from the Trump administration, apparently there's this other theory on the right. There's so much going on the right-wing sphere online. It's actually kind of funny. I'm like, wow, so much is happening that I just didn't realize. So Joe Kent, apparently there was like a conspiracy theory or a theory that Joe Kent was I guess he was a part of TPUSA or is a part of TPUSA. And they thought, people online, other right-wing commentators online, thought that Joe Kent gave the screenshots from TPUSA about Erica to Candace. And so everyone is like, oh, I hate Joe Kent. So everyone hates Joe Kent on the right now because he went against Trump. And now they're saying, oh, he also like helped Candace and is going against Erica, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, there's so much going on. So let me just play this video for you. Let me play this video. I'm not doing it justice. Hello. Thank you for joining my chaotic stream today. Okay, so let's do this. This is a very chaotic stream today. Sorry about that. Okay, so like I said, so TVUSA TBUSA accuses Joe Kent of leaking to harm Erica. And so there's just like all this stuff going on, and everyone is having all of these conspiracy theories. And so because now Charlie's mentor died, everyone's like, oh my God, like, was it Erica Kirk? Was it Israel? Was it all these different people? Anyway, let's watch this. His mentor dying just added fuel to this already flaming fire. All right, let's go.
Of Erica Kirk. Joe Kent, I have never heard utter a bad word about Erica Kirk. So is Turning Point going to supply any receipts for the fact that he egged on something that was harmful to Erica Kirk? Jack Posobiec, who works with Turning Point USA in a lot of different ways, but also is military and has served the country, and therefore, like most military men, respect Joe Kent's accomplishment. He came under fire for merely listing, absent any commentary, Joe Kent's qualifications and his background, having served this country. This is what Jack Posobiec wrote, and I'm going to show you how Laura Loomer responded.
I had it on a different section, and then it went back. Okay, there we go. Okay. So Joe Kent went and talked to Tucker Carlson. Now, there's also going to be I'm also going to do a video about Tucker Carlson, because apparently Anna Kasparian wants Tucker Carlson to run for president, because of course she does. But he goes on Tucker Carlson, and this is why everyone is kind of like, most people on the right wing sphere are like, they either love Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, or hate Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. And so when Joe Kent decided to, of course, leave the Trump administration and be a whistleblower and then go on Tucker Carlson's show, now all the right-wing pundits are like, oh, we hate him, F him. So they're just trying to go after him.
Bits of news to share regarding Charlie Kirk's investigation, right? He basically says the FBI stopped him from investigating. I'll let you listen to his words from his own mouth. Take a listen.
Okay, and this is why I think some people, and this is why some people think that, oh, maybe like, this is so silly, but maybe like Israel's, I don't know. First of all, I don't know why Israel would be behind Charlie's mentor being killed. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why Erica would want to kill Charlie's mentor. But as we go along, you'll see that, like, basically Joe Kent is saying that Charlie told him to not let us get into a war with Iran, and so that's why Charlie had to be killed. And then I guess maybe the people, I don't know. Again, I don't believe any of this. It's just how I'm thinking people's minds are working. Is I guess some people are thinking, okay, well then maybe the mentor knew about it, and that's why Erica or Israel had the mentor killed, which would be very strange that it would happen at a pickleball court. I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's keep going.
And the last time I saw Charlie Kirk on this earth was in June, in the West Wing, in the stairway, and I said hi to him, and he looked me in the eye, and he said very loudly, and it's a small. You've been in the West Wing; it's small, it's a tight space, and he said, "Joe, stop us from getting into a war with Iran," very loudly.
He was single-minded,
and he walked off, and he went, I believe, into the Oval. So when one of
So now I think a lot of people think this is the reason. So. Okay, anyway, but we'll keep going. But I think people think this is the reason that they're like, oh, they had Charlie Kirk killed because he didn't want to have a war with Iran. I don't believe any of this. I don't. But I do think it's funny.
President Trump's closest advisors, who is vocally advocating for us to not go to war with Iran and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis. And then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that. It's a data point. It's a data point that we need to look into.
What do you mean when you say we're not allowed to ask any questions about that?
We've been told that this individual, Robinson, is a lone gunman, and maybe he is. But the investigation that I was a part of, the National Counterterrorism Center was a part of, we were stopped from continuing to investigate. And the FBI will say that they stopped that because they wanted to have turn everything over to the Utah state authorities. Everything's going to trial. It's very, very sensitive. But there was still a lot for us to look into that I can't really get into. But there was still linkage for us to invest.
I love when people do that. Like, there's so much I have to say, or there's so much I need to do, but like, or there's something I want to say, but it's like, okay, well then what is it? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you, but like, I can't tell you right now, but like, I promise you, I'm telling you the truth. Listen. Okay, so Joe Kent, okay, there's so much going on the right now, and I think a lot of people like Tucker Carlson, like Candace Owens, are trying to drift away from the mainstream because they understand what's going to happen. And I think Joe Kent just happens to be one of those people. Am I happy that he publicly whistleblowed and publicly was like, hey, I am leaving this administration, I cannot stay because because we went into this war, because basically what he was saying was that they knew that Israel was going to strike Iran, and so they convinced Donald Trump into going along with it because into striking Iran first, because Israel was already going to strike Iran and already going to start a war. And so he was saying that we basically got roped into this. Now I do believe that on some part. Like, I think Donald Trump has a shit ton of, like, I think Donald Trump is stupid, and I don't think he listens to anyone but yes men. And I think when people told him that he couldn't do it or that he shouldn't do it, that actually made him want to do it more. So I really just think that, like, Donald Trump is just an egotistical maniac that when people tell him he can't do something, he's just gonna do it just to try to spite people. And so I like, that's what I think about Donald Trump. So I don't necessarily think that, like, I think a lot of this was, he thought this was going to be good for him. He thought that he was going to be the best president ever, and right? So like, I don't think that they completely roped us in. Like, I do think America is a warmongering country, and we get what we want by killing people, essentially. And so I do think that, like, America is also very much to blame for a lot of this, and a lot of this. But I do think that Bibi Netanyahu probably convinced Trump to do this, and telling him it was such a good idea, it was such a smart idea. I do think that Bibi Netanyahu did do that. I do 100% think that he did do that, because after we started the war with Iran, he went out on television and said, oh, I've been wanting this for 40 years. Go watch C-SPAN. Go look up any clips of him saying, oh, we need to go with Iran. Like, we need to go to war with Iran. Like 20 years ago, 10 years ago. He's been doing this for decades, okay? And so this is something that he wants. Unfortunately, listen, I think Bibi Netanyahu, it's also gotten out of his control at this point, but I don't think he cares. But anyway, and so what I'm trying to say is that Joe Kent is an opportunist. I don't think that he has any ideological consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he's being an opportunist. He's being an opportunist, which is why he decided to go on Tucker right after he quit, right? Because he wanted to tell everyone, he wanted to say things. And so I do think that, like, that's what happened. So I don't necessarily, like, so I don't know how much to believe from Joe Kent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how much we can really, like, take his word for things. Nor do I think we should be like, I don't know, because he had an interview with Sagar on Breaking Points, and apparently he was still, like, glazing Trump. So he doesn't have, like, this man obviously does not care and, like, is just doing this because he's an opportunist. I don't know why I can't say that word today. Was this the guy that was teleported multiple times? No, wait. Wait, I've heard about that. I don't remember. Oh my God. No, this isn't the guy that was teleported multiple times. The guy who was teleported multiple times. Oh my gosh. I know who you're talking about, though. I'm going to have to look that up, and we're going to have to watch that, because no, Donald Trump just appointed someone to something, and I don't remember, but I heard about it. And this guy literally thought that he was teleported. Okay, wait, I'm going to look that up. We're going to finish watching this Candace clip, and I'm going to look that up. Anyway, or at least he said that he was. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, let me get this Candace clip back up, because they're going to talk more about this. And then I'm going to find that clip that you're talking about.
Investigate that we needed to run down. And I'm not making any conclusions. I'm not saying
No, I don't think you are.
because of this happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's unanswered questions. We know the pressure because of the text messages that have been made public, that Charlie was under a lot of pressure from a lot of pro-Israel donors. And again, we know Charlie was advocating to President Trump against this war with Iran. And we knew at the end of the 12-day war, at the end of Midnight Hammer, that the Israelis were going to come back and ask us to go back to war again.
Right.
That is interesting.
So we have a lot of data
That is
points
an
between
interesting
Butler, the
point.
assassination attempts against President Trump, the breaches of his security, what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Now, of course, this instantly began trending. It's shocking you have somebody who is the director or former director of national counterterrorism telling you that somebody stopped him. He was stopped from investigating whether or not there could have been any foreign leads or foreign involvement. He says, I don't know for sure, but I do know that we had things that we would have investigated had it not been for Kash Patel. Now, we had already known that something was brewing between him and Kash Patel, right? That made it into the Daily Mail at some point. We had covered it. You would think that him sitting down with Tucker and revealing this would shock the senses of Turning Point USA, that it would shock the senses of his wife. They would go, what? Get Kash on the phone immediately. I need to speak to Kash, but I would need to know why.
This is why people think like Erica Kirk is behind all of this, is because Erica Kirk went against Joe Kent. It was like, I don't know if she went against Joe Kent, but she basically, but all these people who were like, in Turning Point USA or around Erica are saying, oh, he's not, like, he was never his friend. He's not a true friend of Charlie's, blah, 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 blah. And so now everyone's like, okay, well then Erica Kirk must be behind it, or Erica Kirk must have something to do with it, because because this man came out and said, oh, they didn't go through everything, and hey, I'm just saying, listen, this is what I'm saying. First of all, I don't know what information this man was privy to. Okay. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not sure. Second of all, I feel like Erica Kirk would probably know more about the investigation than he would. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know how these things work, but it's just funny to me that they're like, oh, well, like Erica Kirk must have been behind it because she's not mad, or she's not gonna go to like Kash Patel and be like, what the fuck, I don't know. This is so insane. This is so insane, and I need to do a deeper dive on this because it's actually really crazy how much they're all fighting. Apparently now Joe Rogan is making fun of Erica Kirk and her crazy eyes, and so yeah, I I just saw this and thought it was funny. Anyway, this is, so Candace Owens posted, I wanted to post this, or I wanted to show this because it said the bidding war for Charlie Kirk's legacy storage wars, and then it has is that Mark Levin? I think that's Mark Levin. Ben Shapiro, Bibi Netanyahu, and I think it's so funny that she posted this because that's literally, first of all, that's what that one dude was doing. What's his name? Kent, whatever the hell, Joe Kent. He did that. Candace is doing that. Everyone on the right wing has done that. Every single person on the right wing has done that. Like, you are currently doing that. And it's quite funny. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Okay, anyway. I did find a clip of the guy.
We had a teleport incident, 2 of them, and I end up at a Waffle House like 50 miles away from where I was.
That man who is, yes, talking about teleporting to a Waffle House is Greg Phillips, and he now holds one of the most important jobs at FEMA, overseeing the...
Okay, yeah, so Joe Kent and Greg Phillips are 2 different people. So this is Greg Phillips. And he was just like they said, he's now a top FEMA official, and he thinks that he's been teleported to Waffle House. I wasn't originally going to talk about this, but because you brought it up, I'm going to talk about it because it's hilarious, and it's one of the funniest. It's not funny actually at all. It's not funny. It's going to cause grave consequences it's going to cause grave consequences. Like, it really is. Because this guy obviously does not know what he's doing and is insane. But it is also simultaneously funny because what the fuck? We are literally living in idiocracy. Like, this is idiocracy. Like, I watched Idiocracy a couple months ago, and I just remember watching it and being like, wow. This is literally our lives. Like, this is our lives. And to put it on top of that, we're gonna have a freaking wrestling match. We're gonna have a freaking wrestling match at the White House. If that is not like Idiocracy, I don't know what is, man. I don't know what is. It's crazy. Okay, let's finish watching this.
The Office of Response and Recovery.
It was an incredibly frightening moment to experience yourself in your car flying through the air. But I tell you, teleporting is no fun.
Phillips is a far-right activist, and he now helps determine how the government responds when disaster strikes, coordinating billions of dollars in search and rescue operations and emergency aid. He was appointed to this position in December, and a CNN K-File review of Phillips' podcast and social media history found a long record of extraordinary personal claims.
We then tracked down what we felt like were 3 million non-citizen voters.
Election fraud conspiracy theories, and violent rhetoric towards public officials.
You said, we know that 3 million illegally voted. Do you have the proof?
Yes.
Will you provide it?
Yes.
Can I have it?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. When Joe Kent was like, I'm not trying to say this. Like, I can't tell you all the information. It's like that guy. Okay, well, are you going to give me are you going to show me the proof that, like, that, you said that all these people voted that didn't? No, I'm not going to give you the proof. It's like Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell kept saying that he has all the evidence. He kept saying, I think he probably still says he has all the evidence about the 2020 election. And he's like, I got the evidence. Where, man? Where? You've been saying this for years. All right.
In January 2025, after Trump took office, Phillips was discussing a Trump executive order that targeted intelligence officials who had questioned the veracity of Hunter Biden's laptop before the 2020 election. Phillips said this:
I'm going to find you. I'm going to track you down. I'm going to beat the living snot out of you.
He then talked about former President Joe Biden.
I would like to punch that in the mouth right now. He is a nasty,
Probably loud.
crappy human being, and he deserves to die, and I hope he does.
Phillips first rose to prominence promoting false claims of widespread voter fraud in the 2016 and 2020 elections. The unfounded claims were widely disputed by both courts and election officials. On multiple occasions, Phillips described migrants crossing the southern border as an invading force and urged people to arm themselves.
The war is here. They want you dead. They've come here to kill you. Be well armed. Take care of your family.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I didn't see all of this. This is actually more terrifying. The teleporting thing is it's very funny to me, and I think it's quite hilarious, even though it's insane. It is insane. Anyway, this part is actually very terrifying, especially since he's in FEMA. He's like one of the top people at FEMA. That's very terrifying, because that means that immigrant communities or different or more diverse communities, maybe he decides he doesn't want to give them money. Maybe he decides that he doesn't want to help those communities. And he can come up with some excuse, some dumbass excuse, like, oh, well, they want to kill you, or they're invading, or what have you. And that is quite terrifying. So that I did not see the rest of this.
The person making these remarks is now in a position of public trust at an agency where judgment, credibility, and calm decision-making carry life or death consequences. A FEMA spokesperson told CNN, "This is so silly, it's barely worth acknowledging. DHS, FEMA, and Mr. Phillips are focused on the critical mission of emergency."
Is it silly? Is it silly? No, is it silly? I'm sorry. Is it silly? Is it silly? Or is it silly? Is it silly that you appointed someone that thinks that they were flying in the sky? Which one's silly? Because I think appointing someone who thinks that they were flying through the sky into a Waffle House is batshit. That's what I think. I think that's batshit. Oh my God. Okay. It's on CNN. Yes. Thank you. The stream keeps lagging for me. No. Oh, okay, good. Okay. I was going to say, I have it plugged in. You don't fly when you're teleported. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. You don't fly when you're teleported. He is hyper racist. Yeah. The guy probably read Camp of the Saints. Oh, I don't know what that is. But no, that's a good point. You don't fly when you're teleported. That's a really great point. You don't fly when you're teleported. When you're teleporting, you're supposed to just like end up somewhere. And you don't fly. Like, what are you? Like, this is so insane. And I love how the right, they always do that. The right and all the conservative pundits and everyone, all the politicians, everything like that, they like, and this is what Trump does and MAGA does so well. Trump or this guy or who, just name a person, just name any Republican politician. They'll do something so deeply unserious and so deeply insane and will believe some of the most batshit stuff. Like, for instance, that they teleported into a Waffle House. And then when people bring it up and are like, hey, this is a little concerning, they're like, it's concerning that you even care. Like, put it back on you. Like, no, you're the weird one for thinking that teleporting is weird. No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. God, it's just, God, I don't even know what to say. That was kind of funny. No, that was funny. Thank you for bringing that up, because that was funny. Anyway, that was crazy. So the last thing, we're gonna go right back to, we're gonna take a U-turn back to Candace. Well, not Candace. We're gonna take a U-turn back to Charlie Kirk. So because this is my thumbnail. Anyway, so Cenk Uygur is now is what I said. Is Cenk Uygur becoming Candace Owens? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Cenk and Anna are now, I feel like what they're doing is they're kind of following in the footsteps of Candace and Tucker, and they're like, you know what we'll do? We will just like, we're gonna do the same thing they do. We're gonna be like right wing and kind of conservative on a lot of other things, pretend like we're populist, pretend like we're like middle of the road on some things, but then when it comes to Israel, we're just gonna do listen, Cenk and Anna are really great on Palestine and Israel, and so I always like, and I understand that that's how a lot of people are getting introduced to them right now. And I think that, again, I think people like Anna, people like Cenk, people like Tucker, people like Candace, people like Joe Kent, all these people, they don't sincerely believe in a free Palestine. They don't sincerely believe in helping these other countries that are being bombed. They don't I don't think they care about Lebanon. Like, I don't think they care about the genocide that's happening there. But they're using Israel, they're using this to go after, they're using this as in an opportunist way, where they're like, okay, well, this will help me, and this will help me get more followers now that it's easier to speak out against Israel and all this kind of stuff. And so I think they're trying to follow in Candace and Tucker's footsteps and be this like mysterious populist. I mean, it's not mysterious. They're just conservative opportunists, right? It's not mysterious. But I guess to people who may not know who they are, it is, they're trying to be this like mysterious kind of like middle right type of area. And so I think they're trying to follow in the footsteps of Candace and Tucker, if that makes any sense. Anyway, if any of what I said just made sense. But Charlie, this is what I think they're doing. But this is what Cenk said. Charlie Kirk's mentor just died in a freak. Every time I say this, I'm gonna laugh, and I feel like such a bad person. Okay. Charlie Kirk's mentor just died in a freak pickleball accident. That's an incredibly strange coincidence. That's an incredibly strange coincidence. If you're going to say that that's not weird, that there are tons of pickleball. Okay, I'm sorry. This is hard to get through. If you're going to say that that's not weird, that there are tons of pickleball fatalities, you sound nuts. I don't know what happened. I don't know. He doesn't know what happened. But I don't think that this is perfectly normal. And this is like, oh my God, this is like verbatim. This is like we're verbatim what Tucker and what Candace do, right? This is what they do. Is they're like, I don't know what happened. I don't have any proof, but I'm just saying. This is what I think. Isn't it a little weird? Isn't it a little weird? I don't know what happened. I don't have any proof, but isn't it a little weird? And that's what they do. And that's what Cenk's doing. So I really, really think that that's what Anna and Cenk are doing. But I thought I thought this was funny because I'm like, he is going in the footsteps of Tucker and Candace. That's what he's doing. Like, I don't know what happened, but I don't think it's perfectly normal. Listen, okay. Saying a freak pickleball accident is funny and does make you question what that even means. But I don't think it was Israel, and I don't think it was Erica Kirk, and I don't think it was anything nefarious. I think the guy was just older and fell. I don't know. But apparently, I mean, and there, if he was playing pickleball, there had to have been other people, and he was also on other people around. He was also on life support. So like, this isn't like, I don't think this is like a new thing. I don't know. So I just find it kind of strange that this seems to be, they are great on fighting against Israel for historical personal reason too. No, exactly. They're not fighting against Israel because of like, oh, I hate Israel, or because they're committing multiple genocides and are and have been wanting a war in Iran for decades, and now we're finally doing it and disrupting the whole global economy. And they don't hate like they say they hate it because of that, but a lot of it is just like personal grievance. And yeah, anyway, they are beginning to question. Yeah. And so like, I do think it's such a weird like situation, because I do think it's good that like Cenk and Anna talk against Israel, because I do think that they get people in, and that they get people to see that like Israel is not that they're a genocidal state, and they are committing 2 genocides right now in Gaza and in Lebanon. But I do think that the problem with that is they lure people in with stuff like that because they know it's popular, and then they keep spouting all these right-wing talking points, or they keep spouting all these right-wing, why can't I think of the word? They keep having like a right-wing tinge, on it, and they're like, they come at it from a right-wing perspective, like immigration, or wanting Tucker Carlson to run and thinking that Tucker Carlson would somehow be like, I gotta watch that video. Apparently Anna said that she wants Tucker Carlson to run for president, and that's what I'm afraid of. Like, this is what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of all of this bullshit. I'm afraid of all of these people who are like, oh no, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, like, they're kind of good now, they're making good points or whatever. Like, I'm afraid that is going to turn into a Tucker Carlson presidency or a presidential run. I'm concerned about that. And Tucker Carlson is a white nationalist. He will always be a white nationalist. He is a racist, okay? He is not a good person, never has been, never will be, is literally the heir to the Swanson fortune. This man is not like a populist. This man is not a normal man. This man is not someone who's going to go and be president and then change how everything works, okay? He is a capitalist. He's not going to suddenly be like, he's not going to suddenly become a socialist, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, this is like him becoming president is not going to fix everything. And I was watching I was watching this clip the other day on Don Lemon where he was going up to people and he asked some liberals like what they think. And they were saying, you know, anyone else could have been president. Nikki Haley, Marco Rubio, down the line, and it would have been fine. But Trump, no, because he did January 6th. And while I understand their thought process, I also think that is also dangerous because Trump is the Republican Party. Okay, Nikki Haley, Marco Rubio, all those people, they may not be as outwardly fascist. They may not be as outwardly racist. You know, they may not outwardly be like that all the time, even though most of the time they are, but just not as brazen as Trump, not as bold as Trump. But they still... that's still their policies. That's still the policies that they're going to enact. Those are still the things that they are going to do. And so to sit here and be like, oh, well, we could have had Nikki Haley and it would have been fine. No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have. Just like when Trump leaves, it's not going to be just fine. What the problem is people think, oh, when Trump leaves, everything's going to be fine. We're just going to go back to normal. It's going to be great. No, because the next person that comes after Trump is going to be even more insane, is going to be even farther right, is going to be even crazier and be even more fascist. And that is what's going to happen because the Democrats aren't doing shit. They're barely fighting back. I barely hear them talk about anything lately. Most of them, like Chuck Schumer, want this war with Iran. I mean, are happy that Trump did it. They just complain about little things. And so, like, the problem is that eventually we are, if, you know, because, I mean, Trump's old. So eventually we are going to have someone else. And if it is a Republican, and if the Democrats don't start speaking the fuck up, and if it is a Republican, then yeah, the next Republican is going to be even more insane. It's going to be even more nationalist and fundamentalist and fascist. And people think that Tucker Carlson is not that, and that is just not true. He's a white nationalist, he is a fascist, and I think he would be much worse. I think he would be ultimately worse because he can trick people into thinking he's sincere. He can trick people into thinking he's doing what's best or what they want or you know? And so all of this like propping up of Tucker Carlson or all of this like whitewashing or forgetting Tucker Carlson's legacy has just been like driving me crazy. And so that's why I have problems with Cenk, and that's why I wanted to talk about. I talk about following in Candace and Tucker's footsteps, because this is the problem. This is the problem with acting like these people on the right are suddenly seeing the light. No, they just see what's happening and they're being opportunists, and whoever comes up next, whoever is the next person, they're going to change their mind based on whatever that person says. That's what they're going to do. Just like Megyn Kelly did when she was a part of the Me Too movement, and then when that no longer was popular, she went back on it and said, nope, never mind. So no, like I'm not like they're opportunists, and I do not want to see a Tucker Carlson presidency, okay? Because that would be horrible, that would be horrific, and we need to wake up. Anyway, and we just went on a little bit of a rant. All right. Anna will totally back Tucker over Newsom 100%. She did not say it, but she said the pick was controversial. Oh, okay. True. Oh, thanks, Trump. Marco Rubio. He does not care if he gets to Cuba. Yeah, that's actually going to be my video on Wednesday, is about Cuba and Hassan going and the flotilla. So that's what I'm going to be talking about Wednesday. Anyway, let's get back to stuff. That was a fun little rant that I had. Anyway, so Cenk Uygur is turning into Candace and Tucker, and I'm going to predict that happening now. It's kind of already happening. But anyway, and now, look, listen, let's go down here. Now... Okay, so it says, you notice that the minute you ask simple questions, you get labeled a conspiracy theorist by traditional media. Are we not allowed to ask strange occurrences, or should all good journalists shut up and write down what the government said? It's hilarious to see. Oh, I'm not reading all this. This is so much. Okay, never mind. Maybe I will. Okay, it's hilarious to see reporters saying that you shouldn't ask questions of the government. I didn't come with an account a country mile of reaching any conclusions on purpose. You didn't reach any conclusions on purpose. That was your purpose of doing it. It was just asking. Tucker Carlson used to do that all the time on Fox News. I'm just asking questions. He used to always fucking say that, and it would always drive me insane because I'm like, no, you're not. You know what you're doing? You're dog whistling. Shut up. And so like, he's like, I didn't come up with a conclusion. Yeah, that was your point. That was the whole point of this post. It's the very act of questioning the beloved government and the beloved powerful that so offends the press in this country. They serve the exact opposite of role of what they're supposed to do. Instead of challenging the government and getting to the bottom of the story, they yell at anyone challenging the government and try to shut down all inquiries. What a weird thing to do if you really think you're a reporter. I would get it if they work as propagandists for the powerful, but it makes no sense if you're trying to do journalism. Oh, wait a minute. And like, what's so messed up about this is like, he's actually right. I don't think he's right about the pickleball death. But I think he's right that like, yeah, of course, most reporters, most mainstream journalists are just propagandists. And most of them are criticizing you coming from that lens of like, you shouldn't go against the government, da 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 da. But I don't think the government is covering up this guy's death on pickleball court. Like, I just don't. Like, this is just so weird to me. And you're just trying to come up with weird things to get people to listen to you. Like, I feel like that's what you're trying to do, and I don't understand. It's like, because you, like, this is true. Talk about Iran. You can talk about that. Just today, I don't know if it was today, but Joe Scarborough, he was like, hey, but isn't it great? He's like, yeah, I know we're in a war with Iran and it sucks and everything's crazy, but like, isn't it great that we at least, you know, have like worn out a lot of their military, you know, they've been using up a lot of their military equipment. Like, isn't that great? Isn't that great that we've done that? And it's like, no. He was being a propagandist. Joe Scarborough was a propagandist. But it's like, like when you're talking about just like a pickleball death, I just find it very strange that like, this is your like conspiracy theory. I don't know. Anyway, and you know, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, right? I could be totally wrong. But what I think, I think I'm right. What I think is he's trying to do this, like, I'm just asking questions, but he's not really asking questions about anything substantial. And he's just making these points to get people to interact with him and not like, and not because he's like actually trying to point out anything substantial. He's just like, oh, well, this pickleball murder. It's not a murder. Death. Anyway, we've spent too much time on that. I don't know why I found this so interesting and so intriguing, but I did, and I found it quite funny. And I don't think it's funny that this guy died, but I think it's funny that it was a pickleball. It was because of pickleball. Yeah, and I think Cenk is funny. His response is funny. Okay, anyway, I feel like that was all rambling. But to I guess round out this point, everyone's talking about Joe Kent going against Israel and all that on the right, and Erica Kirk, and is Erica Kirk behind it? Is Israel behind it because Joe Kent said and Tucker said and da-da-da, all this stuff, right? Well, this is how Kid Rock responded. This is how Kid Rock responded. I think this... I don't know. I actually don't know if this was recent, but someone posted it. It was recent, and it says... Oh no, is Kid Rock is big mad. This is what he said.
You fuck with Trump, you fuck with me.
I actually think that's old. Isn't that an old video? Oh my god. Okay, anyway, I thought that was really funny too. But I imagine that if this is new, I think it's old. But if it is new, he's saying it about Joe Kent because Joe Kent went against Trump. But I wonder if he's willing to go up against Iran. Maybe he should be a part of the draft. If there's a draft, maybe he should be enlisted and he should go fight, since he's like, oh, if you mess with Trump, you mess with me. Maybe he should go then. Like, he should go over there and be deployed. You know, I think Kid Rock should be anyway. Speaking of Iran, Donald Trump, sorry, I feel like this whole live today is so utterly chaotic and I don't know why. I guess I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, but I apologize if it's crazy. Hopefully you find it entertaining. Anyway, so Donald Trump has lost his goddamn mind this weekend. Just lost his ever-loving mind. So I think we're in like the 4th week of the war now. Shit. Okay. We're in the 4th week of the war. Oh, you know what's happening? Is it as chaotic as Alex Jones on Temple Street? That's gonna be my member video tomorrow. Is reacting to Alex Jones on Temple. That was so funny. I laughed my ass off. Okay, I'm trying to fix this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix what you can see, but it's not. I'm having issues because again, would it be my stream if I didn't have issues? Probably not. Okay, anyway, here, we're just gonna talk. All right, so I'll figure that out. But anyway, so Donald Trump was losing his ever-loving mind over the weekend, and he's gone insane. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. And we've been in this war with Iran for like 4 weeks now, and I think he said that we won the war like 3 different times already. He said, oh no, we won the war with Iran. But then he also said that they need to open the Strait of Hormuz. But then he said that the Strait of Hormuz is not closed, that we actually opened it. But then he said, well, we might send troops, but we might not. And then he also said, he said, and if they continue to like close the Strait of Hormuz, then we're gonna bomb them harder than they ever, whatever. This man has lost his goddamn mind. Okay, I don't know what is wrong with him. I think that he thought that he was just going to get out of this real quick and easy, like everything, like he did with Venezuela. But he didn't, manipulating the betting market. Yeah, I think you're right. But I also think it's like an ego thing for him too. I think that, and I feel like this happens with people like Trump who are like so egotistical and who are so full of themselves and like narcissistic. And when they're like, when they think that they're going to win this battle, or they think that they're right, or they could just like overcome it, and even though everyone else is telling them, no, this is not going to work, and he's like, I'm going to do it anyway, and then he does it anyway. And now he looks like a fool. He looks stupid. He really does look stupid. And he looks so insane. And so now I feel like he's trying to be like this macho man and be like, oh, if you don't listen to me, then we're gonna do this. And it's like, no, we're not. No, we're not. And then on PBD, they're like, oh, well, if Iran really wants to win, if Iran really wants to know how to deal with Trump, then they should read The Art of the Deal. They should read The Art of the Deal, because all this confusion, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. Trump is trying to confuse Iran. That's what he's trying to do. Trump is trying to confuse Iran. And that's just the art of the deal. So that's what I mean when I say conservatives. The ones who are being opportunists right now and who are going against Trump or going against whatever, they're just saying that shit. They don't believe it, because now you got all these people on PPD, all these people in the right-wing pundits who were against war, who are now like, no, it's just the art of the deal. It's just the art of the deal, man. It's the art of the deal. He's totally winning. All this confusing, all these different things that he's saying that make no sense, that contradict each other. No, that's just the art of the deal. He's doing that on purpose. Anyway, he treats everything like some sort of deal that others have to do the real work. Yeah, and so he was posting all weekend, and I'll just read one thing he posted. He said, I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had over the last few days very good and productive conversations. And this is all in caps, by the way. At 6:23 a.m. In productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East, based on the tenor and tone of this in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants. So that's what I was talking about. He originally threatened them and was like, we're gonna bomb your power plants. So, which is so insane because, so Israel bombed one of Iran's I believe is one of their power plants. And, anyway, and so then Iran started bombing all the American bases. I think we've talked about this. We've already talked about this because they had like the gasoline raining in the sky, which was so dystopic. It was so dystopian, and the amount of like pundits and people who just don't care about the sheer amount of people this is going to harm and kill and make suffer is truly devastating. Me, like in America, I feel like we're so selfish because we're like, oh well, it's not really affecting us yet, or oh well, the markets are still good, like you were saying, like oh well, it's fine, it's gonna be fine. It's like but it's already not fine. Like it's already not fine though. Like we have murdered children. We the people in Iran who are having to breathe in this air are going to have consequences for decades to come because of this. And it seems like when people talk about this war, no one seems to care about that, or everyone who's for it, no, they don't seem to acknowledge that fact, right? And anyway, they don't seem to acknowledge that fact, but they were bombing other American bases, and so then it caused a lot of disruption in the market when Israel did that, because gas started going up, oil started going up, and everyone's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, if we don't have enough oil, if we're not able to get all of these resources from Iran, if we're not going to be able to get it through the Strait of Hormuz, then food prices are going to go up because of fertilizer, oil prices are going to go up, things are going to what this war potentially could do to the global economy, and is doing to other places, right? There are places who are finding it hard to get resources, and their prices are going to go up, and everything's going to go up. And so there are other countries who are already suffering greatly from this. This is going to cause so much destruction. And so then Donald Trump was like panicking, and he was like, okay, well, Israel did that, not us. We didn't do that. We didn't know. Well, Israel said that he did know, so he lied. And then he was like, well, if Iran doesn't stop bombing all these other countries, then we're going to have to just bomb their power plants. And so that was his threat. And so this is him saying, oh, we're not going to bomb your power plants anymore. This is so dumb. And this is why when whoever is Adam on PBD was like, oh, it's just the art of the deal. What do you mean it's just the art of the deal? This man is like, oh, we're going to bomb your power plants. Dude, like, if we do that, that is not just putting us in danger, putting our country in danger, putting people here in danger. That's putting like the whole entire world in danger, because now now what do you think is going to happen after that? What do you think is going to happen? It'll be even harder to get things from Iran. They're going to probably continue to close the Strait of Hormuz. And I just don't understand what they think is going to happen. And I don't think they know what's going to happen. I don't think he cares what's going to happen. And I think people have probably told him, hey, this is going to be a catastrophic event if you start bombing their power plants. if you start bombing their power plants, this is going to be a catastrophic event for the whole entire world. And you probably shouldn't do that. And I'm sure there are people telling him that. He's not going to listen. He doesn't want to listen. And so that's what all of this is. That's the whole backstory of that. But it's just insane to me that, like, that was even an option, that's even in his mind, that's an option. And it's like, no, that's going to make things worse. But he thinks that if he is this big man and threatens all this violence, that people are just going to listen to him, because that's probably what he's used to. That's probably what has happened his whole life. Well, I mean, he's in the Epstein files, and he was held liable for sexual assault. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, that's what he's done his whole life, is he has threatened violence. He has threatened, threatened to be this big bad person. And so people just automatically do what he says and automatically bow down to him. And I think that's why he's doing that, because he thinks that this is how he can win. That's how he thought he could win Russia. That's how he thought he could win all these different things that he said he won, even though he didn't. He's like, oh, they'll listen to me. Vladimir Putin will listen to me. Did he listen to him? No. But he thinks that he can just be this violent, big, bad guy, and people will just listen to him, because his whole life, that is how he had been treated. That's how people reacted to him. But now Iran is fighting back, and they should fight back. We bombed them. Okay, we murdered children. We have bombed 2 different schools at this point. And so it's just like, it's insane. But he thinks that this is that he is showing strength when he does stuff like this, which I don't think he is. But anyway, okay, so this is what he says. He says, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of this ongoing meetings and discussions. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald President J. Trump. And what do you know? Iran came out and said those talks are not happening. Those talks are not happening. And apparently he was asked about this, and he said that they're happening, but they're happening with like other countries, like intermediary countries, and it's not the new Ayatollah. And so they said, okay, well, are you gonna talk to the new Ayatollah? He's like, well, I don't know, we haven't heard from him, he might be dead. So this isn't happening, this isn't real. And they are, and he's like, he keeps saying that Iran is coming to him, that they're coming to him. They sincerely, they really want to make a deal. But they don't. And they said that they don't want to make a deal, and they're not interested in some sort of resolution with the American government. And why would they? Because we have been in talks with them for so long, and we bombed them anyway. So yeah, that's what's going on. We're gonna watch another way that I think Trump is gonna try to get out of this, and it's blaming this on people outside of himself. So we're gonna watch a clip that I found on Twitter of him blaming Pete Hegseth, which I think is really funny. He treats everything like some deal. Yeah. Why would he give his tricks in the art of the deal if the art of the deal was working? Oh, wait, that was BB. Are Republicans even listening to their lies anymore? I feel like they just started making up their own lies that sound better to them. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's so transparent that they're lying. I mean, it's so obvious, but I guess there are so many people that don't pay attention, or who are just, I think there are a lot of people who don't pay attention, and I think MAGA and essentially the Republican Party, it has become a cult. I really do, because I've seen all of these interviews with people, and I've experienced it with people, in my life, where it's like you'll ask them about something and they'll be like, well, I'm sure he means the best. or I'm sure he's going to do the best he can. And I'm like, I don't understand why you have so much faith in this man. Like, why, like, first of all, when has he even been proven that he like, when has any of his things that he said been proven right? You know, he's like, oh, I'm right all the time. When and where? Please enlighten me. And then it's just like, but for some reason they just believe him. And it's like, oh, well, he said he's going to do it. Or he said, you know, if he says he's going to do this and that's what he's going to do, well, obviously he's right. And he knows more than I do. So I trust him. Like, there was a lady who literally said that. They asked her, they said, do you agree? Like, do you want this war? Do you want this war to happen? Or I forgot what she said, but she said something. And then they said, well, I think she said, like, no, we should stay out of it. And they said, well, Trump bombed Iran. Like, we're at war with Iran. And she was like, oh, well, he must know more than I do. So I guess it's okay. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You don't care about policy. You don't care about anything. You just care about following this man who is taking his followers for everything that they have. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. This man has done so many scams in his life. How do you look at him and be like, oh yeah, well, if he says it, it's true. I just don't get it. A battered cultist justification. Yeah. They're coming to me with tears in their eyes, sir. It's like the majority report soundbite of Trump telling Elon while his dentures are falling out, don't do it, Vladimir. If you do it, it's gonna be a bad day. I'm gonna add that to my to-do list. I have a to-do list. Creating a Discord is still on my to-do list. But I have a to-do list. I'm gonna add getting a soundboard to my to-do list. Because that would be really fun. Okay. Now let's watch this video of Trump blaming Hegseth, which I think is really funny. People don't want to think for themselves even a little bit. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And like, you know, and the messed up part about all of it is like, I understand why people don't want to be tuned in. I understand why people don't want to listen or pay attention. It sucks. Like, it's not fun. Like, I try to find funny things to talk about that like go along with like what's happening so we can laugh about it, because that's how I personally get through it. But like, it's not fun keeping up with this stuff. And you know, but I think as Americans, it's our duty. It's our responsibility, because we are literally we're literally all of our tax dollars, like most of our tax dollars, are going overseas to kill people and to steal their resources. And so I think it's our responsibility to understand that fact and try to fight against it. But like, I do get why people are like, well, it doesn't matter to me. I don't pay attention. Who cares? And it's gotten to be too much. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna listen anymore. I'm just gonna tune out. And I get why people do that. And like, it's okay. I'm not saying people can never tune out. You know, I take my breaks sometimes, but to completely tune out and act like it has nothing to do with you, or like this is not going to somehow affect you, is not true. But it's also just, it's how we've gotten to where we are, and it's just frustrating because like our money could be going here. Our money could be going to roads. Our money could be going to schools. Our money could be going to so many different things, but instead we're killing people in other countries and taking their resources. And because we're so selfish here in America, we're just like, oh, whatever. It doesn't really affect me. I'm not the one getting bombed, so I guess I'll be fine. And it's just, yeah, it's messed up. Okay, can't wait for the sounds. Yes, it'll happen one day. Fa. When I said that I liked the fa now, everyone was like, ah, how dare you? I will not be adding fa. If I get I don't even know what that comes from. The first time I ever heard it was on Hassan's stream. Okay, anyway, people are just comfortable being consumers. Americans get to enjoy their burger. Yeah, and it's sad because it's not until it starts affecting us in like prices and stuff that people start caring, you know? But even then, it's like we're so insulated from all of the destruction, you know? Like like I said, we're bombing and we're killing people, and people in Iran are like breathing in this air after like power plants have been bombed, and they're breathing in this oil and all this air that's been polluted, and it's like we don't have to experience that in that way. And so we're just so insulated from it, we're so far from it that people just don't think it matters. And I think it does, and I think it's done a doozy on like the conscious of this nation and of like how people think, you know. I think it's done a number on people's mentality, just regular American citizens. I think we don't realize how selfish or how much we don't really care about other people, you know, and how much that's just kind of societal here, right? That's the cornerstone of conservative politics in America overall, personal grievance. No, exactly. MAGA doesn't have to worry about their kids' little league or birthday parties getting drone striked. Exactly. No, exactly. I mean, not to say if that did happen that we would care, because, you know, school shootings happen all the time here, and no one seems to care about that. So, like, you know, they don't seem to care about that. So I guess, you know, I don't know, but yeah. All right, let's watch this. So Trump is now trying to blame this war on Pete Hegseth, which I think is his next move. I think he's trying a few different things to see what works, you know. He does this a lot. He tries a few different things and see what sticks, right? So he tried, we already won the war. That didn't really work because it's kind of obvious that we didn't. And what was the purpose of this? Why did we do all this? Why did we kill all these children? I would love to know the answer to that. Why did we do all of this? So that didn't work. So now he's like, well, maybe I'll blame it on Pete Hegseth.
And then unfortunately I called Pete, I called General Kane, I called a lot of our great people. We have great people. And I said, let's talk. We got a problem in the Middle East. We have a country known as Iran that for 47 years has been just a purveyor of terror, and they're very close to having a nuclear weapon. We can keep going and get that 50,000 up to 55 and 60 is no end, or we can take a stop and make a little journey into the Middle East and eliminate a big problem. And Pete, I think you were the first one to speak up, and you said, let's do it, because you can't let them have it.
Okay. So, you said, Pete, you were the first one to speak up. You said, let's do it. That doesn't surprise me. Pete Hegseth is also a white nationalist. Pete Hegseth is also, he literally is like a white nationalist. He has like white nationalist tattoos like all over his body. And so it doesn't surprise me that Pete Hegseth was like, yeah, let's go do it, because he probably doesn't care that they're killing Iranians. I honestly think Pete Hegseth probably enjoys it. I think Pete Hegseth enjoys hurting other people, and he's so racist that I think that he wants to do this. He wants to hurt them, and he wants to kill them, and he wants to do this, like, what is it? What did Trump say? Another tweet that he posted the other day was he posted, let's see, I don't know what I did with it, but it was like strength or peace through strength. That bullshit. We're gonna do peace through strength bullshit, and it's like, what are you talking about? There's no such thing. This is so utterly ridiculous, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid to say peace through strength. You're not creating any peace. All that you are creating is violence and havoc and catastrophe. That is all that has happened since starting this war. That's it. That's it. That's all that has happened. Because now, not only are we bombing Iran, Israel's bombing Iran. And then now Israel has taken this time to start genociding Lebanon because they've decided, well, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to take this win that we got from the American government. They just went along with us. So now we're just going to keep going, and we're just going to keep pushing, and we're just going to keep genociding people. And so that's what they're doing. And so like this is not creating peace by any means. And it's so insane. It's so insane to say some stupid shit like that when the person who has his Department of War is literally a white nationalist, and you're saying out loud that he was the first one to be like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's go do it. Of course he is. Of course he is. And that's why everyone was worried. Well, a lot of people were worried about Pete Hegseth being in that position because him being a freaking white nationalist racist, of course he probably finds it fun to go and kill brown people in other countries. That's probably why he wanted this job, to be honest. And it's sick. He won't go to the front line though. Oh, never. Are you kidding me? Doesn't he have like a whole like makeup studio or whatever at the doesn't he have like a whole makeup studio, which is insane. You know, for the guys who always, they're so alpha, I'm a manly man. I was scrolling through right-wing YouTube, just to see what's going on. And Tim Pool, I'm going to have to watch this and make a video about it, but Tim Pool said the testosterone problem in America. And I'm just like, bro, this is so, what do you mean the testosterone problem in America? Like, shut up. Like Donald Trump, your leader, okay? He wears a full face of makeup every single day. And obviously, Pete Hegseth does too. Jesse Waters. We're going to watch a Jesse Waters clip at the end of this. Jesse Waters is all caked up, okay? To look at people like Jesse Waters and Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump and Tim Pool and be like, oh, we're the manly man. Everyone else has a testosterone problem. It's so delusional. Like, oh my God. Pete thinks he's Kilgore from Apocalypse Now. It's Pax Romana BS. Yes. Well, he got a new tattoo, and I forgot what it said. But he got a new tattoo that was in Arabic, and it was basically like it was some white nationalist religious shit, and this is very concerning, especially since we are literally bombing Iran right now, and he is so Islamophobic, and like this is such a problem, and the fact but that's like I don't think most people have even mentioned that. Like I think most people are just like, okay, what's the plan? The economy, da da da. It's like, nah, it's like actually we really should focus or like talk more about how we have a white nationalist who is running the Department of War as we are in a war with a Muslim country, and he currently is he just got a tattoo and has all these different white nationalist, Christian nationalist tattoos on him, and he is notoriously Islamophobic, and he's the one who's a part of this. That's like, I don't even know. I don't know who's in charge, but I mean, I guess kind of in charge of it. I don't know. Like we really should talk more about that. We really should, because it's very concerning, and it's really messed up when you think about it. When you really think about it, because a lot of the reason, and like I watched like Danielle Moody and Waj, and something they've brought it up a lot, and something that they said that I think is true is that the other reason that Trump did this was because he thought that he was just going to get away with this, and this was going to be like Venezuela, and that he was just going to be able to do what he wanted to do, get out, and that was going to be it. And A lot of it is also because they're all very deeply racist and deeply Islamophobic. And so they thought that Iran just wouldn't be able to fight back. Either wouldn't or wasn't going to or what have you. Which is racist, because like, what do you mean you don't think they're gonna fight back? What do you mean? Like, dude, like I think they thought, oh well, they're not gonna fight back. What do they have? What do they know? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, oh my god. And so it's like, you guys, like, what do you know, Trump? What do you know, Jesse Waters? Like, what do you know? What do you know, Pete Hegseth? Like, okay. So that's that. We're not done with this though. So as this war keeps going and as more and more people are disenfranchised and more people are wondering why prices are going up and what is going on and why my tax dollars are going to bombing people in other countries, this is what Donald Trump was also talking about over the weekend. He said, I don't think we should make any deal with the crazy country destroying more. Okay, I'm going to start over. Okay, I don't think we should make any deal with the crazy country destroying radical left Democrats unless and until they vote with the Republicans to pass the Save America Act. It is far more important than anything else we are doing in the Senate, okay? And that includes giving these same terrible people, the Dems, who are to blame for this mess. There's so many messes going on right now, so I don't even know what mess he's alluding to. I think it's the TSA mess, but because that's what we're gonna talk about. But like, look, listen, I don't like the Democrats either. Okay, I have a shit ton of smoke for the Democrats. In my video last week, someone commented who did you vote for, and I don't know if that was supposed to be like a slight at me because they think I voted like third party or something. I didn't vote third party. Okay, I voted for Kamala Harris. I did. But that somehow was like a slight at me, and I'm like, dude, listen. The Democrats suck, and the more that we let feckless Democrats and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, and the more we let these people slide and are just like, oh well, they're doing the best they can or whatever, the more mess we're gonna be in because we don't have an opposition party. So listen, I don't like the Dems just as much as anybody else, all right? But to blame them for the mess that we're in, or the multiple messes that we're in, at this point, it just doesn't work because Donald Trump is almost single-handedly responsible for a number of messes that are happening. So it's silly. It's delusional. But anyway, so he said, it is far more important than anything else we are doing in the Senate, and that includes giving these same terrible people, the Dems, who are to blame for this mess, a $5 billion cut in ICE funding, a deal which, even when disguised as something else, is unacceptable to me and to the American people. I don't think they're showing him the right polls, unless it includes their approval of voter ID with picture, citizenship to vote, which already exists in the Constitution, you literal dumbass, no mail-in voting with exceptions, which is actually in court right now. I think it's in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court might allow the cutback on mail-in voting, which is very, very bad. All paper ballots, no men and women's sports. I don't know why did he add this to the Save America Act? Why did he add this? This is so stupid. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, all paper ballots, no men and women's sports, and no transgender mutilization of our precious children. You don't care about children. You just bombed 2 different schools in Iran. You don't care. You don't care about children. You don't care. Shut up. Oh my God. Put it all together and also let Leader Thune identify those few Republicans that are voting against America. They will never be elected again. In other words, lump everything together as one and vote. So that's what he wants to do. Kill the filibuster and stay in DC for Easter if necessary. Oh no, they won't be able to take their vacations. Make America great again. President DJT. Okay, so all of this complete and utter nonsense is because the government has been like partly shut down for a while, which I actually didn't know, which is so crazy because like I feel like I follow the news a lot and like I didn't realize that it was like halfway shut down until I was caught in one of those TSA lines. And but anyway, so the government has been like halfway shut down for a while now. And so TSA agents haven't been getting paid, I think, for like months at this point. And so a lot of them are not coming into work, and as they should not be expected to be. I'm sorry, if we're not going to pay them, why do we expect them to go in and work? That's ridiculous. That's insane. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. I'm sure that they have to get another job to just survive. So to sit here and try to be like, oh, I don't, to get mad that they're quitting is insane. Anyway, so people are quitting. They're getting other jobs because they have to, because they're not getting paid. And what's happening is Democrats have put in bills to try to fund this, so that to try to fund the government, so that way half of the government isn't shut down. But the problem is they don't want funding. They don't want any more funding for ICE. And so that's why Donald Trump was like, oh, we have to fund ICE, da 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 da. He also wants them to vote on the SAVE Act, which we've talked about before, and I'm sure you've heard about, but it's basically trying to restrict voting, right? So he's trying to restrict mail-in voting. He's trying to get it so you have to have a passport to vote. And if you don't have a passport or a social security card, but he just said with pictures, so that means a social security card wouldn't work. So I don't even think they know what they want people to have. But you're going to have passport to vote. And if you are a woman and you are married, or if you're anybody and you're married and you change your last name, it's going to be harder for you to vote, because now you need to have a marriage license, you need to have your birth certificate, you need to have all this stuff, right? So this basically what it's doing is it's creating a poll tax, because now people who don't have passports have to go get passports or their real ID or what have you, which costs money. And so if you don't have a passport, if you don't have a real, I don't have a real ID. So I've just been bringing my passport everywhere. And Missouri was like one of the last people to do it. And I'm just like, my thing is going to expire soon. So I'm like, I'm just going to wait until it expires. I'm not going to give them all this money for no reason. Anyway, not the point. Not the point. But they're going to start charging people if they don't have now they're going to start charging people fees if they don't have like their real ID. That's how you know all of this is just a scam and none of it's real and none of it's about like, oh, we only want Americans to vote, blah, bullshit. Because he also says in there, oh, well, you have to be a citizen to vote. That's already in the Constitution, okay? That's already something that exists. Like, we don't need to make a law. We don't need to make a law. This is ridiculous. But like, he wants to restrict voting. The Republicans want to restrict voting. That's what they're trying to do. That's always been one of their goals. And of course he wants to restrict voting before the midterms. And that's why he's so dead focused on this. And he's like, you can't go on Easter vacation, because he wants this to happen before the midterms. Because he understands, I think they all understand that they're going to get wiped out in the midterms if they don't do something. And I think their way of doing something is trying to restrict voting and trying to have this new kind of poll tax. So that's what's happening right now. And why he put stuff about trans people in there, trans kids in there, is beyond me. I think he's just like desperate. I don't know, but like, And that seems to be what desperate people always want to do, is they use trans people as like their scapegoat for everything. And they think that like being mean to trans people and like being bigoted towards trans people is somehow going to make them popular or something. It's really disgusting. And so many people do it, and it's disgusting and it's shameful. But anyway, and so this is what he's saying over the weekend, right? He's like, okay, well, we need to pass the SAVE Act. We need to do all this. So none of that has happened. None of that has happened. And what's happening now is that there are insanely long lines at the airports. And like I said, I was actually in one of those long lines. So when I went to go visit my friend in Orlando, when I came back, when I was on my way back, I was in line with TSA with my friend for like over an hour. So it actually wasn't even as long as some other people. There are places where it's like hours long, right? And it was crazy. Like the amount of people that were in this line was insane, right? It was so crazy. Like I couldn't even fathom it. I've never seen a TSA line that long in my life. And so it was crazy. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why is this so crazy? Orlando tends to be pretty hectic, and, their it's always a long line, but it'd never been that long before. And so I was like, what the hell? And so now this is happening everywhere. And so what does Trump decide to do? Now first of all, he's blaming this all on the Democrats, even though it's not their fault. And again, I don't like them. I have smoke for the Democrats every day of my life. All right. But it's not their fault. Okay. They're actually trying to stop funding for ICE, which is why, and trying to stop the SAVE Act, which is why Trump is doing all this bullshit. And so do you know what he does instead? So now he's like, well, we're going to have ICE in the airports. So now we have ICE in the airports. And can I tell you, it's going horrifically. If I'm not mistaken, it's been one day. And here we are. And it's gone horrifically. So let's get into this. Okay. The nightmare doesn't end. No, exactly. There will be jelly bean jars at voting stations. Watch. No, literally. Also, what I think is going to happen now that he has ICE in airports, he's going to do ICE at voting booths, at voting places, at polling centers. And I really do think that I think he's going to do that for intimidation. And I think that's what's going to happen. Okay, so anyway, let's dive into this. I gotta figure out why. I have to figure out how to like reformat that so I can see that. But anyway, so TSA security chaos.
On 6, let's talk about the chaos at our nation's airports today. President Trump said having ICE agents step in to help TSA workers was his idea.
And tonight
Okay, also, how the hell is ICE going to help TSA workers? What in the world could they possibly do? What in the world could they possibly do to make these lines go down? What in the world? like literally, we're gonna watch a video, but it's just literally like the TSA person, the one that like checks your passport, checks your ID right there. There's just an ICE guy standing behind him. They're just standing there. They're just standing there behind the TSA agents. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. What are they helping? They're not helping anything.
in Washington, there's virtually no movement to get those TSA workers paid.
ICE was my idea. First person I called was Tom Homan. I said, what do you think? He said, I think it's great.
Of course.
ICE agents at 14 different airports helping with crowd.
Let's see which ones. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Fort Myers, Houston, New Orleans, New York, Newark, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, and Puerto Rico. Okay. So So ICE are at airports now, and like I said, it's not going very well. It's going probably how you would expect. And again, like I said, if I'm not mistaken, it's been one day. It's been one day. So this is Matt Bernstein. He does the A Bit Fruity podcast. I was gonna say I know this. Host of the Bit Fruity podcast. I love him. He is great. But I guess he was live from the JFK airport. What would we do without these men? So again, remember, they're here because they're supposedly helping. They're helping the TSA agents make the lines go down. Just remember that. That's what Donald Trump said. They're just standing there. What are they doing? Why are they getting paid to just stand there? This is crazy. This is great. And they know someone's recording them. They're just standing like this. This is the other thing. This is the other thing our tax dollars is going to. And he wants like, how much did he say? Like $5 billion more dollars to ICE? What? What are they doing? They're just standing there. Why are my tax dollars paying for these thugs to just stand there and intimidate people? What the hell? It's crazy. Okay, and then here's the other one. So, and again, this isn't, not all of them are doing nothing. Some of them are terrorizing people. Some of them are terrorizing people in the airport. So here's a video. It says, greetings from the San Francisco airport where ICE is working diligently to speed the line up. So this is what's happening.
Leave her alone! Fucking what are you doing? Leave her alone!
They're just like on
What the hell are you doing?
I hope you're so fucking proud of yourselves, you fucking assholes. You're on video now, too.
Good. I'm glad people are yelling at them.
Shame on you.
And
You fucking
do you see them? They're like, and again, like I know it doesn't matter if they're in plain clothes or not or whatever, but like they literally are in plain clothes. Like there is nothing identifying them. There's nothing like, at least from this video, there is nothing I see where you're like, oh, this person is. I mean, of course you assume that they're ICE at this point, but like. There's no identifier. And so how is this person supposed to know? Like who this is? They're just like grabbing them and pushing them down. Like this is actually it's psychotic. And this is I believe this is a mother. Okay, let's start this over.
Leave her alone!
Also, shout out to all the people yelling at them and being like, you're pathetic and I hope you're happy with yourselves. Like, honestly, shout out to you all. Because they really I do hope that they go home, and I hope that they can't sleep at night, and I hope that this is something that is going to live with them for the rest of their life, and it eats them up inside for the rest of their life. Like, the things I wish upon them are not good.
Fucking what are you doing? Leave her alone! What the hell are you doing?
I hope you're so fucking proud of yourselves, you fucking assholes. You're on video now, too. Yeah. Shame on you. You fucking un-American pieces of shit. Fuck you.
Leave her alone!
Oh,
fucking what are you doing?
Okay. Yeah, and so that's the outcome. Is literally terrorizing people and pinning down a mom in the middle of the airport. And like now I just I don't I don't even know what to say because it's so insane. And it is fascist. Like, it is fascist. So anyone who wants to sit here and be like, oh, he's not fascist, or he's not a dictator, or, think that or think that he's going to try to intimidate people in the midterms, think that that's like far-fetched or something, they obviously aren't paying attention, because that is his plan. And I think his plan is to normalize having ICE thugs, ICE Gestapo everywhere. Because if they're everywhere, then, us, the citizens, we have to sit here and we have to he wants that to be the norm, because I think he wants us to feel threatened of his power, of the government's power, of their power. And that's the whole point of this. Because he's a fascist, he's an authoritarian. And so that's the whole point in this. And I think that's a part of having ICE there, because he's like, oh, it's my idea to send ICE there to help the TSA agents. Again, what the hell are they doing? They are standing there. They are standing there doing absolutely nothing. They're just standing there, and then they're also brutalizing people in the middle of the airport, kidnapping people in the middle of the airport, pinning people down in the middle of the airport. So what the hell? How this doesn't help anything. So it's not about helping. It's not about fixing a problem. It's not about having a solution. It is literally about it is about oppressing us. It's about oppressing everyone, and it's about showing the force that they are going to put on everyone. And that's what this is. That's what this is, because he's like, oh, Democrats don't want to keep funding ICE. Well, I'll show them. I'll put ICE in the airports, and then they'll just continue brutalizing people. And I know Democrats don't like it when they brutalize people, so we're just going to keep brutalizing people until they give me what I want. And I think that's his plan with this. And it's psychotic. Also, everyone who thought that Tom Homan was going to be some change, or that he was going to be better than what's his name? Greg Bovino. They're obviously wrong, and they were always wrong. Tom Homan is just as bad, always was, always will be. So yeah, oh God. But yeah, I also think they're normalizing it. Yeah. You were not mistaken. Thank you. ICE at the airport, ICE at the polls. Yep. Reading standards was lowered for ICE enlistment. How are they helping TSA? I don't know, man. I don't know. This is so insane to me. It just bothers me that in this country, we're oh, we're not paying workers because we want, we're not going to pay workers because we want to fund this Gestapo. And there's people who don't want to fund this Gestapo. So we're not going to pay these workers. So these workers inevitably are going to stop showing up for work because of course they're not going to start showing up for work. So instead of paying these people, instead of paying them for their work, we're no, we're gonna send in the Gestapo to do what? And say it's helping? To do what? What? It's just so stupid on so many levels, and it just doesn't make any sense on any level at all. This is only going to cause more chaos. This is only going to cause more problems. I don't understand. This is what I'm saying. Donald Trump is oh, the Democrats got us into this mess. Bro, you have gotten us into every mess possible. Almost everything that is wrong right now is literally because you have gotten us into this goddamn mess. Almost single-handedly. Oh my God. It's so infuriating. I mean, I will say though, I do have to put a caveat on that. Not completely single-handedly, because Democrats are barely fighting back. They're fighting back a little. I'm glad that they don't want to pass the SAVE Act, and I'm glad that they don't want to fund ICE, but they could be more vocal about it. I don't think they're really saying it anywhere. I haven't really heard them talk about it at all, and they probably should. They should probably come out and be like, hey, we're trying not to fund ICE, and that's why this is happening, but they're not doing that, which is stupid. But like, they also, a lot of them helped usher in this fascism. So, anyway, that's just my little caveat to that. Stephen Miller's doing, oh yeah, it is totally Stephen Miller's doing. I'm going to Phoenix and I'm flying out of Newark. So I have, oh no. Well, I am sending you good vibes and good luck. I'm sorry. That's actually really terrifying. Like, that terrifies me a lot. And I was watching Waj earlier, and he was also going to an airport, and everyone around him was like, you need to bring your passport just in case. And that is what's so terrifying about this, and what's so I don't even know the words, but it's like, even though, like, just because of the color of his skin, he now feels like he needs to have this passport when he goes places, when he goes to the airport, when he does these things, because ICE may think that he's not American. And so they might, who knows what they might do at that point, because they're just assuming based on how he looks. And God, it's just so, like, I don't even know, like, it's just so dystopian, and it feels so crazy. And I know a lot of people say this, like, people in the 1940s in Germany, like, they kept living their lives, and they kept having, they kept living their lives, they kept going on, and they knew that this genocide was happening. They knew what was going on. They knew that this Holocaust was happening, but they kept living their normal lives. And it just feels like we're living that every day, where it's like all this horrific shit is happening, and everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But we're still, like, expected to just, like, live our daily lives and normal lives and just, like, pay our bills. And the person who used to do my hair, she would always say, I just need to know when I can stop paying my rent, like, she always made that joke when we would talk about politics and stuff happening. She'd be like, I just need to know when I can stop paying my rent, like when is shit gonna get that bad? And because of capitalism, I don't think it ever is. I think we're just going to have to, like, this is just our reality, where we have to try to fight back against this, and we have to try to fight back against this, resist against this, but all while we're still gonna have to pay our rent and pay our bills, because our capitalist overlords are in charge. So I don't know, it's sorry, I just went on kind of a tangent with that. It's infuriating. It's so infuriating. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Yep. Yep. I'm flying to DC on Monday from Ontario, California. That's my home airport. I'm praying I don't get shot in the face. Yeah, I hope you don't either. Be safe. And yeah, God, everyone be safe. I'm going out of town in, like, the end of May. So yeah. I'm a little worried too, but my friends keep telling me I need to get pre-check because I don't have pre-check. And I asked, that was the first question I asked. I said, do they look at your social media? Do they look at your social media? Like, do they look at your social media when you do pre-check? Because if they look at your social media, I don't know. But anyway, okay, so last thing, we're going to talk about, okay, so this, I guess I'll read you the, sorry. I'll read you the tweet that Trump had about ICE at the airports, and then I'm going to leave you all with a very funny video of Jesse Waters. It's funny, but it's also extremely misogynistic, but it's also funny. Okay, so this is what Donald Trump said about ICE in the airports. So he said, I'm a big proponent of ICE wearing masks as they search for and are forced to deal with hardened criminals, many whom were let in our country by sleepy Joe Biden and his wonderful border czar, Kamala Harris. She never even went to the border. Like, how they're so stuck on such old shit. Like, does anyone care about this anymore? Like, JD Vance was blaming Joe Biden for the gas prices the other day. Like, what the fuck? like that's what we were saying earlier when they're like their lies have become so outrageous. Like, do they even believe their lies? Like, now they're going back to, oh, it's Joe Biden's fault. What? What? The dude's like half alive. The dude's barely alive. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean this is Joe Biden's fault? What are you saying? Through their absolutely insane open border policy, I would greatly appreciate, however, no masks when helping our country out of the Democrat-caused mess at the airports. Oh, so is he telling ICE agents not to wear masks when they're brutalizing people at the airport? What? It's very confusing. I don't understand. But anyway, they are like Republicans and the conservatives. It's funny because I feel like this has confirmed that they're essentially a cult, because everyone was like, oh, he's the peace president. He's the no war president. And now like almost 100% of MAGA is like on board with this war. And they've been polling, MAGA on all these different things. And most of them just automatically agree with whatever he says. And so, that's what it kind of confirms that it's a cult. And this is all happening, but most people are wildly against Trump, are wildly against this administration, are wildly against ICE and this war and just generally everything. And so his polling numbers are horrific. They're good within MAGA, but like overall, they're horrific. They're horrible. And so they're in like total turmoil. They're bringing back the it's Joe Biden's fault thing, right? And this, what I'm about to show you, is what they're talking about on the 5. This is what Jesse Waters is talking about. This is what they're talking about on the 5. So let's watch this video. While the world is burning, this is what Fox News is talking about.
Doesn't exist. I have to disagree with Dana. I didn't think Kamala was hot.
Oh, she was attractive.
I said she was beautiful.
I'd say hot.
I don't know. I mean, she was okay. But I mean, if we're talking hot, she's not hot.
Well, I didn't say hot. I said.
Well, it's about hot people, okay?
AOC.
I'm not going to go
Gretchen
there.
Whitmer. You're being generous.
Do you ever see the?
Doesn't exist.
I have to disagree with.
Yeah, like I said, very misogynistic. But this is what they're talking about. This is what they're talking about on Fox News. Things are going to shit. Everything they said, they wanted no new wars. They said that, it's about the gas prices. It's about the food prices. It's about the eggs. Remember the eggs? None of that. He hasn't followed through with any of that. He's actually done the opposite. And this is what they're talking about on Fox News. Who's hotter, Kamala Harris or AOC? And you noticed he didn't answer when when Greg was like, oh, what about AOC? He's like, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay. Yeah. Cause we know your answer. But it's like, why are you sitting here debating why is this a new segment? You're debating the hotness of politicians. Like, why are you talking about this? I think what they're trying to say is like, oh, the Democrats want someone hot for their nominee. It's stupid. Like I said, the world is falling apart, and this is what they're talking about. It's I think it really shows you that there are some people who, if you just watch Fox News, if you just watch like News Nation and all this kind of stuff, some of them really don't know what's going on because this is what they're listening to. Because this is what's happening. Okay. Remember Bush told people to shop? I know. 100% of MAGA, LOL. Yeah, wasn't there a poll where it said like 100% of MAGA is like behind him for this war? Oh my God, that's crazy. Bernie Sanders is such a hottie. Oh, exactly. 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 She's not a teen, so waters ain't turned on. That's a good one. I like that. That's funny. Yeah, it's just so stupid. And I love how the women on that panel were like, oh, well, we weren't saying she's hot, we were saying she's beautiful, and how they're trying to at least like be like, oh, well, because and he's like, oh, and he's just being misogynistic, and he's like, oh, it's why are you on that panel with them? Like, they're gonna talk about women like this, they talk about women like this, and you're trying to like save it somehow, and you're like, no, but she's beautiful. Like, you're trying to save this segment somehow, but this is how they talk, and obviously that because you're sitting right next to them, and you don't seem to you sit next to them every day, and you don't seem to care. Crazy. Anyway, that was the show for today. Thank you so much for watching and being here. Sorry it was a little chaotic. I don't know. I don't know. It was chaotic. I think it's because usually I spend a lot more time like getting all my stuff together, but I gotta be honest, I didn't this weekend, and it's for a very silly reason. I bought a label maker. This sounds so crazy, but I bought a label maker, and I kind of went wild and just started like labeling everything in my apartment. And that's what I did this weekend. And I actually really enjoyed it. Does that make me weird? I think so. No, it's because like I look at a lot of ADHD things, and people are like, oh, if this one girl with ADHD was talking about how she labeled things. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna label things. Label party. Exactly. Yes. It was so fun. It was like, I laughed at myself while I was doing it. I'm like, wow, I'm such a nerd. It's like the weekend, and I'm in here like labeling everything and having so much fun. Just my mom's like, what did you label? And I was like, oh, my pens and like my highlighters. My socks, it's crazy. Anyway, that was my fun-filled weekend. So I just got hyper fixated on that, and that was what I did instead. So sorry if today was chaotic, but I had a lot of fun. So I hope you had a lot of fun too. Even though the world is burning and everything sucks, we can still try to have some fun together. And yeah, anyway, so I'm going to say thank you. Oh, I thought I updated this. Did I not update this? Wow, look at me. This is really a chaotic stream. Okay, anyway, thank you to my members. Love you all very much. I need to update this anyway. Thank you to my members. I'll have my stuff together next week, I promise. And I love you all very much. If you are a member, tomorrow I am going to be posting a video of me reacting to the Tim Pool and Alex Jones stream, which is quite funny. So that's going to be tomorrow, the video for members. And then Wednesday, we're going to talk about Cuba and Hassan and the flotilla that went there and all the hate that they're getting from the internet and from mainstream media. And yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So yes, thank you all. I love you all very much. And I will see you on Wednesday and then on Monday, when I hopefully will have my stuff together a little bit more. All right. Love you all. Bye-bye.